You guys are now live.
Good afternoon. I now call the August 11th, 2025 meeting of the Land Division Committee to order. We respectfully acknowledge that the County of Haliburton is located on Treaty 20 Michi-Sagi territory and in the traditional territory of the Michi-Sagi and Chippewa Nations, collectively known as the Williams Treaty First Nations, which are Curve Lake, Rama, Hiawatha, Alderville, Scugog Island, Beausoleil, and Georgina Island First Nations. We acknowledge a shared presence of Indigenous nations throughout the area and recognize its original Indigenous inhabitants as the stewards of its lands and waters since time immemorial. Good afternoon and welcome to the County of Haliburton's Land Division Committee. My name is Bob Snyder, Deputy Chair of the Committee. I'd like to introduce you to the other members of the committee. Tammy McKelvey, Councillor at Large from Minden Hills. Pat Kennedy, Public Member representing Dysart et al. Lisa Berry, who is not on with us today. Bill McDonald, Public Member representing Algonquin Highlands. We are joined by the Director of Planning, Elizabeth Purcell, and our Acting Deputy Secretary Treasurer, Pam Weiss. This meeting is held through remote electronic participation in accordance with the Municipal Act 2001 as amended. The purpose of the hearing is to give each applicant or their authorized agent the opportunity to discuss their application with the committee and to respond to written submissions which may have been received. It is also an opportunity for committee members to broaden their understanding of each application by asking questions. Members of the public who are participating virtually today may also make oral submissions to the committee, whether in support or opposition of the application. We hear the applications in the same order as they were received in our office. Our planner will introduce each application and provide planning briefs. Then participants who have registered to address the committee will be admitted virtually to speak with the committee. Each participant will be provided 5 minutes to speak to the committee. With that, we will now proceed with the agenda. The next item on the agenda is the adoption of the August 11th, 2025 agenda. Can I have a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda? Pat Kennedy and William Donald second.
Be it resolved that the August 11th, 2025 Land Division Committee agenda be hereby approved. Moved by Pat Kennedy, seconded by William Donald.
All in favor?
Should that be as amended?
Not the agenda. No, the agenda looks the same.
I thought we were doing the minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, the minutes will be amended. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All in favor? That's carried. The next item on the agenda is declaration of pecuniary interest. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof? None declared. The next item on the agenda is the adoption of the minutes from the previous meeting. Can I have a mover and a seconder to adopt the minutes of the July 14th, 2025 Land Division Committee meeting? Member Donald and Member Kennedy second.
Be it resolved that the minutes of the Land Division Committee meeting held July 14th, 2025 be approved as amended. And that would be moved by William Donald and seconded by Patrick Kennedy.
Is there any need for further discussion?
Only if you require it.
Okay. All in favor? That's carried. We will now move into consideration of applications for consent. The first application is H21/25, being an application for a lot addition. Elizabeth?
share my screen. Trust you can see the presentation.
Yep.
Perfect. So as Deputy Chair Snyder noted, this application is for a lot addition. The subject lands are located at 1333 Halls Lake Road in the township of Algonquin Highlands. The subject property has an area of just over 6 hectares and approximately 48 meters of frontage on Halls Lake Road and about 202 meters of frontage on Little Hawk Lake Road. It is developed with a single detached dwelling and accessory structures, and aside from the cleared area, where's my mouse? Sorry. Aside from the cleared area where the lot's development is situated near Halls Lake Road, the rest is well vegetated. The property is designated rural lands in the county official plan and zoned shoreline residential 1 in the township zoning bylaw. The benefiting lands to the lot addition are located at 1307 Halls Lake Road and are also developed with a single detached dwelling and accessory structures. The proposal is for a lot addition having an area of just under 6,659 square meters and 75.3 meters of frontage on Little Hawk Lake Road to be conveyed to the benefiting lands. The benefiting lot would go from approximately 2,205 square meters in area to 8,917 square meters and would now have frontage on both Halls Lake Road and Little Hawk Lake Road to the north. The retained lands would have a resulting lot area of 5.43 hectares and approximately 127 meters of frontage on Little Hawk Lake Road. The frontage on Halls Lake Road would remain unchanged. No development of the lot addition lands nor any new accesses to Little Hawk Lake Road are proposed through this application. Algonquin Highlands Council endorsed the application subject to conditions and no other comments were received. Therefore, staff recommend approval of the application subject to the conditions in the staff report.
Are there any questions from the committee? Is there anyone in attendance that wishes to speak to this application?
I believe the applicant for the application is in attendance, Jan Carnegie.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Is there anything you'd like to add to the report from Elizabeth Purcell?
I don't have anything to add. I just was wanting to be in attendance in case there were any questions and I could answer them.
Okay. Are there any further questions from the committee? Terrific. Can I have a mover and a seconder to grant provisional approval of the application? Moved by Member Kennedy, seconded by McKelvey, Member McKelvey.
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Elizabeth, do we need a recorded vote, right?
Yes, applications
Yes,
are.
thank you. Okay, thank you. The motion is that the Land Division Committee of the County of Haliburton receive the report related to the application for consent H-021/25 and that the Land Division Committee for the County of Haliburton grant provisional approval of the application for consent H-021/25 subject to the conditions of approval. Member Kennedy?
Yes.
Member McKelvey?
Yes.
Member Donald?
Yes.
Deputy Chair Snyder?
Yes.
Thank you. That's carried.
And the motion's carried and approved. Thank you very much. The next application is H22/25, being a validation of title.
Great. Okay. The subject lands are legally described as concession 12, part of lot 28 in the geographic township of Sherborne in the township of Algonquin Highlands, being just south of Quagama Lake and on the north side of Quagama Lake Road. The lands are currently vacant, and the existing lot was created by way of a 1993 consent application. However, at the time of stamping the deed, the wrong stamp was placed on the document. The landowners are now seeking to convey the lot to a new owner, and in order to do so, require a validation of title to rectify the error from 1994 and have the lot recognized as a lot under the Planning Act. The application for title validation is truly technical in nature and will not change any lot boundaries or use. It's simply to recognize what is already existing. Accordingly, staff recommend approval of the application, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have at this time, as I do understand that this is a pretty unique application that normally isn't reviewed at Land Division Committee. They're kind of once every few years. And with that, I will stop sharing my screen.
Are there any questions from the committee? Member McKelvin.
I just need to try and get my head around this a bit. So when you say the wrong stamp was used, is that the stamp that's at the bottom of the deed that was signed by county staff back in 94?
Deputy Chair, yes. So there was a point in time where the wrong stamp was used by the county to stamp the deeds. It references the wrong section of the Planning Act, which turns out makes it impossible for change in ownership to occur down the line. So the lots were created fine at the time. It's just now as people have gone to transfer ownership of lots that were created during that time frame of the stamp erroneously being used. That's when it's being found that the wrong stamp was used and a validation of title has to occur. So absolutely was a county issue at the time. And so the next step in the process is to just have a certificate of title filled out by the county to give to the land registry office, which will be free of charge to the applicant. Sometimes there are other reasons that a title validation is required that aren't from an error on the approval authority's part, but because this is the validation certificate will be free. It's just it has to go through that process in order to be able to convey it. But yes, so it was the wrong stamp back in 1994, unfortunately.
Thank you. I appreciate that clarification.
Are there other questions? So I have one. Are we aware, is the county aware that there might be other lots created at that time that may have the wrong stamp on it?
Potentially, yes. I know that the neighboring property to the west has already gone through a title validation for the same reason. And a set of other lots have gone through a title validation process a few years ago as well. I'm not sure. I think we'd have to see if there's a proactive way to rectify the rest of them. Probably have to ask our solicitor of how to best address it, but there may be others. I'm not entirely sure at this point.
But some have already been changed. Okay. Is there anyone in attendance that wishes to speak to this application?
Greg Bishop, the applicant for the application, is in attendance.
Greg, Mr. Bishop, can you hear us?
There, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you for joining the meeting. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I will just briefly. As Elizabeth alluded to, you will find these down the road for sure. Where they normally happen is where a stamp's been put on properties side by side, and in a lot of cases is because one owner owns two of those deeds that were stamped. So you've got a situation where you've got the same owner owning both of the properties that were supposed to have the proper stamp on them do not. So therefore, they can't transfer one without getting a validation for one or the other in this case. So they're just going to crop up randomly, unfortunately, as Elizabeth says, you really do want to do a forensic look backwards and try to figure them out. And I don't know whether it's worth your while or your time from the county to start getting into that. It's kind of getting them as they come, and that's how we've done them in the past. So they're rare. It's really truly a lot of times one owner owns side by side properties having the wrong stamp on them. Therefore, they're essentially merged.
Okay. Any questions from the committee for Mr. Bishop? Okay, thank you. Can I have a mover and a seconder to grant provisional approval of the application? Member Donald and Member Kennedy second.
Okay, there's a motion that the Land Division Committee of the County of Haliburton receive the report related to the application for consent H-022/25 and that the Secretary Treasurer be authorized to issue a certificate of validation with respect to the lands legally described as Concession 12, part of Lot 28, RP 19R5789, Part 12 in the geographical township of Sherborne. And we will do a recorded vote. So Member Kennedy,
Yes.
Member McKelvey,
Yes,
Member Donald,
Yes.
and Deputy Chair Snyder.
Yes.
Okay, so that's carried.
So the motion is a carried, application is approved. Is there any other business for the committee? Hearing none, the next meeting for the Land Division Committee is scheduled for September 8th, 2025.
sorry, Bob, I had a question if I may.
Sorry. Go ahead.
The appointment of the secretary treasurer, I'm just wondering if we don't need to tidy that up a bit. I thought with the committee being a quasi judicial that we have to actually appoint Pam perhaps as our secretary treasurer, or?
Yeah, I'm not your Secretary Treasurer, but Elizabeth is your deputy, so she's good to go.
Okay, that's fine, thank you.
I'm your admin as such.
Okay, I should have announced you that way then.
That's okay, no problem.
Any problems with the September 8th date? Okay. Can I have a mover and a seconder to adjourn the August 11th, 2025 Land Division Committee meeting? Member Kennedy. And Member McKelvey. I don't know that we need seconders on. Anyways, Member McKelvey.
Be it resolved that the August 11th, 2025 Land Division Committee meeting be hereby adjourned at 1:19 p.m.
All in favor? Terrific. Carried.